In every 100 years, there's an outbreak. In 1920, let me say from 1918 to 1920, there was a Spanish flu which claims millions and millions of people. But the solution were only found on the biblical basis. Like the world, the Americans, the Chinese, they've practiced what they are calling quarantine, the isolation. If you could check in the Bible, isolation is something which was done to those who have leprosy and any other diseases which are contagious, which can be respiratory transmitted or contact transmitted. In this same scenario which you're having in the world today as a whole, is it the same situation which you are facing? Are we getting the solution from the Bible? The world is running to and fro. As Daniel says, in the last days, people will run to and fro and knowledge will increase. Are we seeing the rapid increase or a gradual increase in the knowledge? Apart from that, in less than 100 years, the world have encountered 2 world wars. In the same century, humans could travel a distance which used to take 3 months with a horse, which you could not walk. It's a distance which has been traveled in hours. Some transportation, they can travel in minutes and seconds. Is this what Daniel was saying? Let's go back and read, like in the book of Matthew, chapter 24. It's very clear. It says, in the last days, many false prophets will rise. This is the scenario which we are having. A lot of churches have been leaded with prophet, pastors and apostles. Is it the scenario which you are facing in the world as a whole? So what I'm saying, the subject which I'm trying to bring to you, I'm trying to enlighten and show you exactly what is happening in the world today. What we are seeing today is not a mystery. It's not a miracle. It's not a case. I've heard a lot of ministers preaching on their podiums, on their pulpits, saying that the devil has brought a curse in the world. But before we can say it's the devil, and before we can point fingers to politicians like China and America, they are blaming one another, saying the problem is the Chinese. Americans are pointing their fingers to the Chinese, and the Chinese are pointing their fingers to the Americans. But the problem which you are having, we must seek the one who have got the authority and the one who have got the power. The problem which you are having, rather than seeking God, like the people in the time of Solomon did, they had to understand that the plagues, they don't come to individuals, and the curses, they don't come to individuals by normal circumstances. Yes, there are certain scenarios where the devil is involved, but the pestilence, if you read in 2 Chronicles chapter 7 from verse 12, it shows that pestilence, they come from God. So the problem which you are having today, is it pestilence? Is it a curse from the devil? I've seen numerous people shouting and saying, lifting their hands in worship, in the place of worship, casting and say, the devil is the problem. But is it really the devil who is bringing the curse to us? Is it the devil who have brought COVID-19, coronavirus? Remember, we used to have N1, H1 diseases, which started from animals, not from humans. They were transmitted, they were contagious. Numerous people, millions of people died. Ebola outbreak in Africa. These were diseases which people could not foresee what is happening. Mostly when God brings pestilence, is to warn us, is to inform us, and so that we can be alert. Are you alert where you are? Numerous people I've seen they started having Bible studies, prayers. Even those who do not go to church, nowadays they are attending churches. Each and every individual is forced to be at his or her own comfort zone at home. Isolation is the key. Is it God who is pushing people to start search and look for him? Remember what he said in his word, look for me while I'm near. Cry to me, and I will not shut my ears to those who are obedient to me. Is it exactly what is happening? Is God seeking attention from the world? or he's informing us. As I say, if we read in the book of Matthew chapter 24, it says, and these signs shall follow before the destruction of the earth. There shall be hunger, pestilence, earthquakes, numerous natural disasters. These are the things which are encountering as the world today. How many people have been killed through war? How many people have died through hunger? But we were not alert. The same as it happens to the children of Egypt, while the children of Israel were in captivity. This happened and nobody could take it. Nobody could understand exactly what was the problem and what was happening. But what we are seeing now, are we not like Egyptians? When God was warning them, they could not understand. They had to encounter 6 plagues before they could convert and understand exactly which message God was conveying to them. The same as the world today. Hunger have come. Nobody was set alert. Wars. Until now, there's still rumors of wars, as Matthew said. But still people are not they were not attentive enough to seek and understand what really God wants. This is a disaster. This is a plague. It's a pandemic which have come, and it have drawn attention for each and every person, whether you're a Muslim, a Christian. You have drawn attention now towards God. The solution is not coming from men. Churches are closing. Shops are closing. Factories are closing. Billionaires are sitting at home, the same as those who do not have money. This shows that God is seeking attention to each and every individual. Are we attentive enough? Are we ready to listen to exactly what He wants? What is the reason for pestilence to come? First Chronicles, as I say, Second Chronicles chapter 2, it says, if my people who are called by my name. How many people are claiming that they are God-fearing and they are children of God? The Bible is saying those who are called by His name, if they will humble themselves and pray. So humbling yourself, it's whereby you do not have pride. I've seen a lot of ministers, a lot of church goers. The Bible is very clear. It says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. How many Christians are going to church today and they do not even talk to their own neighbors? How many Christians who are going to church today, they can't even share the little which they have with their neighbor? So what I'm saying now is, you cannot buy KFC to your neighbor before you buy it yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you cannot brush your tooth, if you wear smelling socks, if you fight with your own spouse in the house, how can you love your neighbor? So these are the things which we have ignored as the Christian society. And God is now bringing pestilence and curses towards us so that we can draw attention and understand exactly what He really wants from us. What I'm simply saying, humble yourself. As Chronicle says, the reason pestilence was supposed to come to the children of Israel in the time of Solomon, if you read Second Chronicles from chapter 7 from verse 11, it shows that pestilence were only going to come if people were disobedient. It says if they continue on their way and they do not repent, I will send pestilence to them. I will shut the heaven. There will be hunger on the land. So what I'm simply saying is that rather than listening to the false prophets, these false teachers, what they're telling people, that the pestilence are going to be there forever, like what Shepherd Bushiri said, what Emmanuel Makandiwa says, what TB Joshua says, that by the 27th, the pestilence are going to be over. But we are still facing the same thing. But what I'm saying to you, if you could read Chronicles, it's very clear. It says, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray. Pray is a communication between you and God. It's not a communication breakdown like numerous Christians are doing. But I'm saying a prayer is whereby you communicate with God. You tell God what you want, He listens. And God tells you what you want, what He wants, and you listen. Not a communication breakdown. So what I'm saying, we must not be like the prodigal son, whereby he only asks what he wants. We want only. These are the prayers which a lot of Christians are doing. The issue of homosexuality is something which have been accepted in the society. I'm not saying you must hate homosexualities, but I'm saying the spirit which have possessed people and we are ignoring it. We must address it as Christians. Let's pray towards it rather than sitting in our comfort zone. These are the things which are driving the Spirit of God towards us. That's why His wrath is actually punishing us. In the same book of Chronicles, Second Chronicles, chapter 7, I believe in verse 13, it says, even pestilence, they come to His own people. We are not spared if you are Christians. I heard Pastor Chris saying that if you are a Christian, this is not going to affect you. But if you read in the book of Chronicles, it says, I send pestilence and they are going to destroy my own people. Pestilence are diseases. They are going to destroy my own people, the chosen one. So this is what is happening as Christian in the Christian world. What I'm saying, let us be alert. Let us be like Daniel. He had to read the book of Jeremiah to understand the end of 70 years of desolate from the children of Israel. He had to read from a certain portion from the Bible so that he can understand. Let us not lay our trust. Let us not lay our knowledge. Let us not lay our faith in the hands of the prophets or pastors. They're just individuals like us. All of us, we are called. That's why the book of Ephesians says some are called, which means a division of these offices is given to individuals. So what I'm saying to you, let us be vigilant. Let us not trust in the hands of individual, but let us trust in the hands of God the Creator. He is the source. He is the one, He is the omnipresent. He is omni-knowing. Whatever is happening today, it's an alert to the world. God bless you.